The region below is bounded by y equals 2 root x, y equals 0, and x equals 9. So this curve right here is y equals 2 root x. Okay, so first they want us to cut it two different ways. The first one, vertical slices. So these are vertical slices. I want to break up, like kind of like cutting bread or cutting anything on a cutting board. Using vertical slices, I want to cut up the area. So that means I'm going to go from 0 to 9, from 0 to 9. And let me just put one in there. That's the easiest way to see it. Let me just put one right here. There's one particular slice. So it's basically a rectangle, sort. It's close enough. So this is the height of the rectangle. The height of the rectangle is that. And the width of the rectangle is that. So the width is the dx. That's the dx right there. That's the width. And what's the height? Well, the height is, all the way up to that, which is what? Which is y. So it's 2 root x as we have it right there. That's the height. So let me write that for us. That's the height. So the height times the width. The height is the y value, 2, which is 2 root x, and the width is dx. And we're going from 0 to 9. Okay, so that one's not too bad. But now let's go to part 2, and they want us to use horizontal slice. Now we're going to slice it like this. Okay, so I'm going to have to get rid of all this, turn it all around. Let me put one of the slices in there. Again, put one right about here. Let's do that little slice right there, because that's what we're doing, right? We're making horizontal slices. Now let's just take one particular slice. So here is the height now, which is dy. It's a y height, and that's why we have dy. That is the height now. Okay, but the question is, why is this the width? Well, let me help with that. So the width is, well, we put it right in the middle, is right there. There we go, that's better. That's the width. Well, what is that? How do you find that? Well, that's going to be this, which is x, subtracted from all the way over, which is 9. The width, do you see that? Do you see what I'm talking about? The width of any slice is 9, take away x. Now, why you think, why is that x? Well, because that's what x means. X means from the origin over to the graph. That's what x is, right? Like if you were to find a point, you say, find me the point over 2, up 3, x2, y3. What would you go over 2, up 3? Boom, there it is. See how that 2 is over from the origin? That's what x means. So therefore, this is x. X is from the axis over to the graph. That's x. We want to know the width of this slice. We're going to do a bunch of horizontal slices to slice up this area. The width, what's that going to be? That's going to be 9, take away x. Because 9 is all the way, x is the first part, subtract it, you've got the width. So this width will equal 9, take away x. The width is 9. Take away, in fact, why don't I just do it in the same color? The width is 9, take away x, right? Because all the way over is 9, take away x, you've got the width. So now, so why don't we just put 9, take away x there? Well, because we want everything in terms of y. The dy, it's like the dictator says, make everything y, please. So I go, oh, okay, so that means, that, remember, this is a point. This equation, this point right here, is a point on that graph. So that means if I take this little equation, y equals 2 root x, I want to find x. So how do you do that? Second power both sides. That'll be y squared. This is going to be 4x, right? Because you second power the 2 and then you remove the root. And then now divide by 4 on both sides. Boom, x equals y squared over 4. So that goes right here. 9 minus, and what is x? Y squared over 4. So the width equals 9 minus y squared over 4. 9 minus, they wrote it that way, same thing. That's 9 minus y squared over 4. You can put it that way. That's the width. That's a little tricky, isn't it? So if you want to do, if you want to slice it horizontally, let's take one slice right here. The height is dy. The width is a little tricky. It's 9, because this goes all the way to 9, right? Take away x, because x is from the axis over to the graph. So it's 9 minus x, but then you got to take this equation and get x alone. X is y squared over 4. So it's 9 minus y squared over 4. Because you got to have it all in terms of y when you have a dy. And so that's tricky. And there we go.